All right, guys, I'm going to be answering 20 fitness-related questions. Completely random. I have no idea what I'm about to answer. If you have some questions for the next video, leave some comments below. Hit that subscribe button if you're into bodybuilding or fitness or anything like that. Question number 1. What's your main fitness goal right now? Strength, aesthetics, endurance, or something else? I would say strength and aesthetics, a combination of those. I like to go into the gym. I like to have a heavy compound lift. I like to focus on the form and, try to progressive overload, add a little bit of weight over time and really push myself. I think a heavy compound lift, sometimes most of my workouts are heavy compound lifts, but are very important if you want to build strength and also aesthetics. Question number 2. Which exercise do you enjoy the most and why? I think the exercise that I enjoy the most would be heavy barbell squats. There's nothing like sitting there on the bench, looking at the bar loaded up with weight, knowing you're about to go to war with that weight. And the satisfaction of pushing for 2-3 more reps when you think you're going to fail, and just the complete and total exhaustion that comes with squats. Knowing that you pushed yourself, and that a lot of people have struggled doing that, but having that feeling of accomplishment, there's nothing like it as compared to barbell squats. Question number 3. What's one workout you dread but do anyway? An exercise I dread, that's a toughie. I would say RDLs because I have some lower back problems, maybe some cable lateral raises because it gives me a deep burning in my shoulder, and I've had shoulder issues in the past. So probably a combination of RDLs and cable lateral raises are my least favorite, but I do them anyway because I know there's a benefit to doing them. Question number 4. How do you stay motivated on days you don't feel like training? That's a really good question. There's definitely days that come when, there's days where I'm high energy, ready to go to the gym, and there's some days that I don't really want to go, but I know that this is a marathon and not a sprint. It's more about consistency than having 1 or 2 good days here and there. So showing up for yourself every day, but also knowing when to take a rest day is really important. I think some of us push ourselves a little too hard, just some of us. And I think some of us could stand to go when we decide to take a rest day. So it's really a balance there. What's the biggest mistake you made when you first started working out? I would say not warming up is one of them. And another one is feeling something that was a little bit off, but also pushing through it. That's where my shoulder injury came from. Definitely, man, if something's feeling off and you don't think you should do it, maybe don't do it. Like, it's okay. Like, if you go in and train shoulders and your shoulders just are not feeling it, you can either train something else, like do a lower body day, or you can just get on the treadmill, walk for 30 minutes, or you can just take a rest day. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And, maybe skip your shoulder workout the next couple times, let it rest up, do something really light for it maybe. But that's the biggest mistake I've made, is pushing through when I shouldn't have. How do you track your progress? Photos, measurements, strength? I don't really track it. I guess just looking in the mirror. I like to do pose downs. I don't really do them when I go to Planet Fitness because there's really nowhere to do it. But when I go to Anytime, they have personal bathrooms and stuff. I'll lock the door, go in there and do a pose down. And I'll watch the video back. But it's pretty cool to do a pose down after a workout because you really can see the progress you're making. So that's what I do. Question number 8. What role does sleep play in your recovery and performance? I definitely try to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Sometimes that's not feasible because I do a lot. I work around 60 hours a week. I try to go to the gym every day. And that would be a good chance. Like, if I'm only going to get 4 hours of sleep, maybe I need to take a rest day that day, right? Because my performance in the gym is not going to be as good as if I rested 6-7 hours, or I might not be as recovered from the workout before. So sleep is a big thing. It's just not always feasible to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep, but I try my best to. What's your current go-to pre-workout meal or snack? Right now, I don't particularly just eat a meal before I go work out. Something I'm trying now is just 500 calorie meals, right? Like half of it being carbs, the other half being protein. Every once in a while, throwing some kind of fat in there, some kind of fiber, vegetable. But I try to have a 500 calorie meal when I wake up. If I feel hungry mid-morning, I try to have another 500 calorie meal. And that still leaves me 1,000 calories throughout the day. I try to have 30 to 50 grams of protein in all these meals. And I mean, that's my current strategy right now. It seems to be working. How important is form versus weight in your training philosophy? I think they're both important. Like, you don't want to be so focused on form that you're not pushing yourself really hard. But you also don't want to push yourself so hard you're completely losing your form, right? So there's a happy balance there. I see guys that are so focused on form that they're not really pushing themselves as hard as they should. And I also see people that are just throwing around so much weight, they're not really hitting the muscle they're targeting. So there's just a balance in everything, guys. Do you incorporate rest days or active recovery days? I'm more likely to do an active recovery day. I might go into the gym and feel off, and I'll just back the weight off and still go through my workout and just focus on going really slow and really focusing on the form. That's my idea of a rest day. When, you know, I could just sit at the house, but I just love going to the gym so much I don't know how to turn it off. Do you train differently when cutting versus bulking? Not particularly. I haven't really done a hard bulk, but I can see myself moving more weight when I'm bulking just because I'll be more full of carbs and water, more nutrients. My body will be more primed for moving that heavy weight. So my philosophy is still train as heavy as you can while maintaining 90% form is what I would say. And that would hold true when I'm bulking too. Let's see, what else? What's next? Question 15, what does your post-workout routine look like? Don't really have one. Like, I get done with the gym, I record this video. I try to eat something within an hour or two of leaving the gym. Again, that's not always feasible. But once I leave the gym, that's it, man. I usually have 1 or 2 meals left in the day, so it works out. How do you measure progress beyond the scale? Just the amount of weight I'm moving, like how good I feel, when I look in the mirror, what I'm seeing, and I understand if I've been eating more than I should, that it's not going to look the way I want it to. But really, that's it. It's just looking in the mirror and how I feel in the gym, the weight I'm moving, and things of that nature. Do you do cardio? If so, what kind and how often? For a while, I was on the cardio kick there. I'd do 30 minutes on the incline, just walking on the treadmill, you know, low impact. And man, it just, it has its place. But for me right now, it sounds like an excuse, but I already walk 15,000 to 20,000 steps when I work, and I work 5 days a week. So I think I got the heart health part covered. But if I was like seriously cutting, like trying to do a bodybuilding show, then I'd be incorporating that 30 minutes to an hour of cardio every time I work out. But right now, it's just not there. Have you ever dealt with an injury? How did it affect your training? My shoulder. Oh man, it messed me up because I couldn't do any kind of shoulder movements. I couldn't train chest. I had to be careful when I was training back. Like, it really messed me up. And what I had to do was take a step back and skip training those muscles for like a month, and then start doing rotator cuff warm-ups before I trained my chest, because I think that was part of it. I was trying to move too much weight, but doing a rotator cuff injury warm-up really helped my injury, and just slowly building the weight back up. And, you know, and it was because I was trying to train through a certain pain that I knew I shouldn't have. So that is a lesson right there, guys. Do not, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. You're just going to set yourself back a couple months rather than a week or two. And come on now, just be careful out there. What muscle group are you currently trying to improve the most? Everything, really. I've been pretty focused on my biceps, because when I do a back double bicep, I don't really see the peaks in my biceps. Side and rear delts, I'm trying to work on those a lot. My front delts had plenty of training, like I overdid it, and they're trying to play catch up. So side and rear delts, and I would say biceps. And what I'm doing is I'm just increasing the amount of sets. I'm really focusing on forms and exercises that hit them really hard, and just pushing to that point of failure. So it's been a really big focus. Final question, question number 20. If you could give one piece of advice to your past self starting out, what would it be? All right. Dear past self, man, this is going to take a lot longer than you think it's going to. You're going to have ups and downs. There's going to be lots of them. But one of the most important things is you need to nail that nutrition. You're starting out, man. You got to get 150 to 180 grams of protein, about 3,000 calories a day if you really want to put that muscle on. You're going to have to train hard. You're going to have to train to failure. You're going to have to do drop sets. You're going to have to train smart. If something hurts, back off. Don't do it. Don't be afraid to take a rest day every once in a while. But when you're in that gym, train every muscle once or twice per week, twice being optimal. The program I would suggest is push-pull legs. You can repeat that and take a rest day every once in a while, and you're hitting every muscle, including your legs. Train your legs hard once or twice per week. And make sure your nutrition is right. You're nailing that. Get enough sleep when you can. Train hard. I can't say it hard enough. Train hard. That would be my advice. But if this is the kind of content you guys like, and if you got any questions, please leave it in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be coming at you almost every day. I can't guarantee a video every day because that puts too much pressure on me. It makes me want to do a video when I don't want to, and that video would be low quality. But most days I'm going to be putting out a Q&A. Appreciate everyone that's watched this video all the way through. Appreciate everybody's support. Remember, leave a question for the next video. Don't let that dreamer die. Oh, I forgot to go over my workout today. I almost closed the video out. So today was a push day. I did 3 sets of supine press, last set being a drop set, 3 sets of machine press. I did 3 sets of the tricep press down machine. I did 2 sets of heavy cable press downs. I did 2 sets of over the head extensions, 3 sets of cable lateral raises, and 3 sets of dumbbell lateral raises. My chest, my shoulders, and my triceps were cooked. It was a solid workout. See you guys next time.